Welcome, everyone. It's Todd Walters. We appreciate you guys being here today. If you didn't get the memo, the reason you're here is you're a Craig Proctor System Platinum member, and on occasion, we do unscheduled Zoom meetings for Platinum members to talk about various things. Today, we want to talk about the obvious biggest problems that you guys have, and that is trying to generate seller prospects online. Okay. I know you can do it with direct mail, but doing it online, that's a challenge for you. I'm going to tell you why it is. I'm going to show you some solutions to it. So if you guys are prepared for that, go ahead and type into the chat box in the comments where you're from. Let everybody know who can see you right now where you're from. Here's why we like to talk about where we're from is you've got a name, okay, like Ken. Okay, so you got Ken Kuchar out there in Las Vegas, right? So, but I know Ken's in Las Vegas. Before, Ken was just a name. Now he's like, oh, that's Ken in Las Vegas. Okay. And you become bigger now. So that's great. So everybody can associate you with a market area for referral purposes and let's say a little networking as well. So always good to be associated with the market area. Nathan, you'll like this. I was at a RE/MAX Awards banquet in Georgia. So I'm up on stage. I'm getting my #1 real estate agent for RE/MAX award up on stage there for the Georgia Awards. And they introduced me to the public as, or to everyone that was there, as the Craig Proctor of the South. Introduced me as Craig Proctor of the South. I thought that was pretty cool because, of course, I idolized Craig. And I thought that was sweet. I was like, man, I like to be known as Craig Proctor of the South. So I was associated with the South. Of course, that's where everybody was. And, Craig was a big figure in the RE/MAX circles at that time. So, yeah, you want to be known for something. And we're going to get into that day. I think a lot of that has to do with some of you guys' issues. Your marketing issues that you have, especially online, is you just got all kinds of brand positioning problems. And that's probably the thing that's impacting you the most online. So I've invited Chuck Peters on today. Chuck, you there?
Hey, everybody.
Yep. So I got Chuck on. If you guys don't know Chuck, I'll introduce him formally here in just a few minutes. We've got Chase on with us as well. And Cheryl O'Reilly is helping run the Zoom meeting. So she'll be working frantically to keep people admitted and to keep your microphones muted. If you're not, talking at that moment in time, you know how it is. Sometimes you don't know your mic's muted. It's like sometimes when you don't know your camera's actually on and you're doing things in front of your camera that you wish you wouldn't have done and knew everybody was looking at. How many of you guys are guilty of that, right? Doing things in front of your camera and you forgot it was on. Now, we've seen some of that stuff and it makes for a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun behind the scenes talking about some of you who didn't know your camera was on when we were doing a Zoom meeting. Those have been fun. Yep.
Frantically rush your camera.
That's okay, man. We're all human. Okay. And we're all in this together. So here's a good starting place for us today. All right. Everyone is here for the same things. You really want to sell more homes and make more money. Okay. Everybody has that commonality about them. And in order for you to get what you want, sell more homes and make more money, you know how it works. You have to help more people get what they want, flat out, plain and simple. So everybody is here for scale and scaling up their businesses. In order for you to get rich in real estate, you got to help a lot of other people get rich, means they get what they want. Okay. So in this case, we're dealing with real estate. So the more people we help sell their house, okay, the more you're going to have what you want. Okay, so here's my next polling question for all of you as we're getting settled in to get started here. How many of you are guilty of investing money in marketing? Right now, you're spending money on marketing to not generate seller prospects. How many of you are doing that? You're actually investing money into marketing to generate prospects that are not, let me repeat, not your ideal customer. How many of you are doing it? So you can type into the chat because it starts with a confession in that area. Like, how does this happen? because Chuck, you've been involved with a lot of businesses outside of real estate. That's how we got to know you. One of your customers is Paula Dean, I think, right?
Yep.
So, so these businesses you're involved in, like they don't spend money trying to generate prospects that are not their ideal customer or target audience. Is that right?
Not at all.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, they don't have this broad target audience. They have a very specific customer that everything they do, every person, every process, every marketing dollar that gets spent is to generate that target customer. Is that right?
That's correct. It's a meticulous process.
Have you noticed since you've gotten involved with real estate agents that they pretty much do the opposite? They spend gobs of money to generate prospects they really don't want.
It's a common thing.
It's amazing, isn't it? Why is that? And the answer that I've come up with is because they learn from others. So when I got involved with Craig all those decades ago, he was 70% of his sales were from sellers. Okay. 30% of his sales were from buyers, but the buyers came from the sellers that he had. Right. They were just buying his listings, and I'm like, where did this change for real estate agents? So I want everybody to know my opinion on it. Okay. My opinion is it sort of started to change when lead generation companies came onto the scene. So I'm going to pick on my old pals at Commissions Inc., for example. About the time that they come on the scene, okay, prior to them, Chuck, prior to Commissions Inc. coming onto the scene with Platinum Members, there was this REO boom. So there was a marketplace took a major hit, and a lot of our Platinum members were struggling because the listings weren't really selling very well. But you know what was selling were the foreclosures. So there was this movement in the Platinum level to help the members get more REO accounts. So even then, we didn't deviate from our original target market of generating people with a house to sell. We just went to a different prospect, which in this case was an institutional seller. So, and then along comes these lead generation companies. And these lead generation companies somehow convince the members to give them their money, and they will run ads to generate leads. And that's when it started going sideways, is that lots of members, okay, not me, not Craig, lots of members gave them their money and they started generating leads that were not their ideal customer. And over time, their business began to drift away from getting a lot of sellers into getting a lot of buyers without houses to sell. Okay. And then all of a sudden the agent then finds himself years later with the complete opposite. 30% of their sales are sellers, 70% are buyers. Right. And it's even worse, Chuck. The leads they're getting are all over the place. Some of them move up, some of them moving down, some of them distress sales, some of them divorce sales, first-time buyers, affluent sellers, and everybody in between. And now we run into this problem of being able to scale up a business because you have to pretty much be an expert to everyone, which is impossible for a business to do. You can't have a sales force where everyone is trained to work with everyone. You got to customize your entire business for all kinds of different customers. And this is where these sales team businesses and brokerages that are trying to scale up are having issues right now. And the ones that are doing the best, Chuck, if I'm not mistaken, are the ones hyper-focused on generating a target customer, in this case, a person with a house to sell. So how was my monologue, my opening narrative? Am I right or wrong on this?
From my end, I can see it quite clearly, Todd. It's really easy for lead gen companies to generate buyers leads from property ads on Facebook.
Yep.
And so this becomes the source of the majority of the leads that people are buying is property ad leads. So this is the problem.
Okay, has everybody got that? So the first issue is with online marketing is that who's your target customer? Now, if we go back to the Commissions Inc. narrative that I used, you give me your money, I'm going to send you leads. And yes, I'm going to admit to you, I don't know if they got a house to sell or not. We're intentionally not targeting people with a house to sell. That's their business model. Intentionally targeting people that don't have a house. In other words, it's not part of the marketing. It's not part of the words. It's not part of the AdWords, not part of the keywords. There's no part of it whatsoever to generate people with a house to sell. So when you get leads that are not your target customer, you can't very well complain. You're getting what you're paying for. All right. And now, because you've got some buyers with a house to sell, many of them without not, some first-time buyers, some affluent buyers, some people that own a affluent like house, millions of dollars, some people that are in distress and need to get rid of their house. Now your salespeople have to be super duper experts at every person, working with everyone, customizing every sales process. Okay. Along the way, you end up with a business that's not scalable. That's why I put this on the screen here. So here, one more time, if you guys are late joining us, this is where we started. Okay. If we're going to generate seller prospects online, if you're going to improve your business in that area, okay, then we have to recognize, okay, that part of the problems stem from how we're doing business now. Mindset. In other words, it's about getting leads versus getting our ideal customers. Okay, that's the first thing. Commissions Inc.'s key performance indicator. And we're picking on Commissions Inc. right now, just, because we're familiar with them. Their key performance indicator is cost per lead. That's your problem right there. Right, Chuck?
Yeah.
They're using the wrong KPI. So immediately they come to me, if I'm a customer, and they're pitching me on their key performance indicator, which is cost per lead. And it's like, cost per lead. I got a problem with that. Okay. I don't care about cost per lead. Okay. I'm looking for an overall return on my investment, getting my ideal customer. Okay. That is a leading indicator I want. Okay. Not cost per lead, but see, Commissions Inc., for example, a lead generation company, they're not tied to the outcome. They're only tied to generating the lead and you getting it. So of course they're going to stop with their key KPI being cost per lead. That's where they stop. That's the be all end all for them. So they're going to measure everything around that. They're going to measure everything around generating a bunch of leads at low cost. That's how they determine to be a win or not. And it's the complete opposite of what all of you really want to achieve. What you want to achieve is more of your ideal customers, your target customer, people with a house to sell. Okay. And making a profit from them when you start to measure out your marketing on it. So you can see the disconnect on doing business that way with lead generation companies versus controlling and owning your own marketing and aligning everyone and everything in your business to target and generate your ideal customer, including brand position. Okay, so I've got Chuck on here, I've got Nathan on here, and we've been working with about 100 of these platinum members turn your home sold guaranteed realty owners. Either they've been doing it for a couple of years or like Rudy for 3 or 4 years now or more. And some of them are just getting going. Okay. And I've got this mountain of data from platinum members that have no interest in it. Okay. To do the ones that are struggling to all those that are crushing it. So I want everybody to know we've got it. We're sitting on a lot of information and data right now and can tell you with certainty how to overcome and solve these issues. But we got to know that the issues even exist first. So I wanted to start there. I thought that was a good place to start, Chuck, was this whole concept of, all right, big problem number one. Do we even understand target marketing? And is there anything in our business that's not aligned with generating our ideal customers? And if so, why are we doing it? And what's the implications of it? So anyway, all right, so back on you, Chuck. You have been working with a lot of our top Craig Proctor system members. They flipped over their brokerage or opened one where it didn't exist before, so they could have total freedom to do what they want, how they wanted to do it. And you've discovered that when it comes to online marketing, that the people that are doing the best with their online marketing are the ones that don't hide who they are. Yes or no?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So here's what I mean by hide. they're either ashamed or scared that their brand position will not generate their ideal customer. That would be me back in the day of Remax. Okay, so back in the Remax days, that was me. We hid the Remax balloon and name as best we could, and we could do that in direct mail very well. But online, when the internet started developing, we had a more difficult time doing it, and to the point where you just couldn't do it anymore. So, so that was a contributor, precursor to some of these issues that we're having right now. Okay, but in every online ad or organic marketing, tell me if I'm wrong, Chuck, there's always a sponsor. There's a who that's presenting the information to the search result. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. It's a double-edged sword.
Okay, has everybody got that? All right, so so that's where we're going to pick it up, and I'm going to use some comparisons and contrast for you guys and give you some action steps on what I would do if I were you to fix this. Okay. Now, type into the comments and chat for Nathan and I. We can do a little poll. You guys tell me, for you right now, if you're watching, okay, almost all of you are platinum level members. Okay, there's a few titanium guys on here, but most of you are plats. Okay. For you, no, don't think about anybody else. Think about you and your own business. Let us know right now. Is it getting harder, more costly, simply the same thing, to generate seller prospects online? Is it getting more costly to generate seller prospects online? Yes or no? Let us know. Maybe for you, it's getting easier to generate seller prospects. And maybe for others, it's not. I don't know, but I want to know right now. So tell us, and go ahead and confess that. If you're a leader in your business, very important for you always to face the reality, no matter how grim it is. Okay. It's called the Stockdale Paradox. If you guys may want to go freshen up on the Stockdale Paradox from Jim Collins' books, From Good to Great and Built to Last. He talks about it in both of them. But I'd recommend you guys go do that. Okay. It's your ability as the owner and the leader in your business to face up to the grim reality of things. Okay. You must face it down. Some people don't face down the reality of things. They pretend or hope that it'll be just fine. And those are the ones in the Stockdale Paradox. If you study it from Jim, those are guys that die first. Those are the businesses that go away first. They starve out. They're overly positive. They'll figure it out. It'll work out. I know it's going to happen. It will be just fine. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Eventually I'll do it and it'll be absolutely fine. Those are the guys that starve out. Those businesses die first. Okay. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, one more time, write that down on your notepad. It's called the Stockdale Paradox. Okay. And go and study that. There's a whole couple of chapters on it in Collins' books, Good to Great and Built to Last. All right. Okay. So most everybody is saying that it's becoming increasingly more difficult, harder, and costly to generate your ideal customer through your online marketing. Okay. All right, good. Then you're in the right place. So now let's think this one through. Is it possible to reverse that? Now, if it's not, you're in trouble. Okay, that's going to push you out from doing online marketing. You just won't even be able to play the game there. You're going to be stuck doing offline. But if it's possible to reverse that and dominate online, here's my next question for you. Wouldn't you do that? Like, if you can reverse that trend, and instead of it becoming more costly and harder to generate your ideal customers online, if you could reverse that, change it like you snap your fingers, wouldn't you do that? And if not, why not? Like, what change is too painful for you to basically go and play the game where everybody is playing the game? Like, what would keep you from making the change, if indeed that is the trend? Because don't the trends lead to annihilation or starve out, or what Stockdale or Jim Collins referred to as the Stockdale Paradox? Don't you end up dead? Doesn't your business die if you don't reverse the course? Like most people, Nathan, not platinum members, but most, especially the platinum members that are on today. Okay. But some platinum members and those people that aren't connected to us absolutely are going to quit, starve out, and go away. Okay. Not because they want to, it's because they look at their present situation and that's how they make decisions. If things are going really good today, they don't do anything about it. If things are going really bad today, they think it'll be better tomorrow. And they continue to pretty much do the same thing that got them into the bad place to start with. Am I right?
No question. No. Yeah, go back to old habits, keep doing the same things. Yep, no question. See it all the time, every day.
I think it was Einstein, or was it Samuel Clemens, said the definition of insanity was doing the same old things over and over again, expecting a different result.
Same thing and expecting a different result.
Yeah, it was either one of those guys. Einstein, quotes attributed to Einstein or Mark Twain, one of them. I don't know which one it is, so I'm ignorant in that area, but you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, so, but let's face down the other reality. It might be getting harder for you and more costly for you to generate prospects that are your ideal customers online to the point where you've given up on it or think it's no longer even feasible. But I'm going to remind you, it's harder for you, but it's not harder for others. For others, it's easier than ever. So you got two choices here now as a leader in your business. You can discount what I'm saying and say, well, that's just Todd, trying to sell me something. And the answer is, hell yeah, I'm trying to sell you something. You achieving your hopes and dreams. If you don't, you go away. We don't want you to go away. We want you to stay and grow. All right. So everything we do is about that. We don't do anything to try to force people out. We want to force people in, and they only stay in if it works and their lives get better. So everything we do is to help people's lives get better. We don't talk about or do anything that makes them worse. We don't need help doing that, right? That's easy enough for us to do on our own. So you have to face the reality of it. Are people getting leads, seller prospects, easier than ever before online with their paid media, even free media? All right, so let's go to Chuck. Chuck, when you started working with some of our Craig Proctor system members, they were struggling getting seller prospects online to the point there where they wouldn't even do it. They were just running buyer ads.
That's correct.
Yeah. All right. So tell us the story. What happened? Now some of them are getting seller prospects online easier than they ever have before.
Yeah, for free even. But it's a huge difference when the brand goes from hurting you to helping you. When the brand becomes instead of something that you have to pay for to overcome, you've got to devote part of your ad spend to overcome your own brand. So all of a sudden your brand is helping you to generate more leads at a lower cost.
Okay. So that's a really great point. So I want to drill down on that. I'm going to use a direct mail piece that I have in my hand here from Tracy that many of you guys are familiar with. I'll stop sharing my screen here. Let's look at this. All right. So I'm going to blow this up. You guys can see this. I'm holding it up right here. This is a postcard that many of you have seen time and time again. Okay, this is a postcard from Tracy King that he sends out to absentee owners. I'm just holding it up there so you can get a good look at it. Okay. Now, I don't know what you're doing right now. I don't know if you guys are paying attention because most of you guys got your cameras off. I don't know if you're on the phone talking to someone right now. I don't know if you're actually making notes and listening to what we're talking about. Okay, but I'm trying to get all of you guys' attention right now, like I've never been able to get it before, and look at the camera and listen to what I'm getting ready to share with you. Okay. All right. This postcard that Tracy sends out through direct mail, I'm using Tracy as an example. I'm going to walk you guys through how and why some people are crushing it with their online marketing to the point where it's easier than ever for them to get sellers. And while most people that are watching today are not able to do that, okay? And it has very little to do with this direct mail piece. But let's start there. So Tracy, all right, Chuck, I'm going to talk to you, Nathan. And I'm going to assume everybody else is making notes and listening right now because this is a massive discovery. So Tracy here sends out this postcard to 10,000 or more absentee owners every month. And here's how it works. He sends the postcard out. These homeowners go to their mailbox, open the mailbox, reach into the mailbox and pull out the mail. And in the mail is this postcard. Okay. Now, the likelihood of there being competition in the mailbox with a similar or better offer on that day at that moment in time are remote. It's likely that Tracy is the only person in the mailbox at that day, at that time, with that offer. Okay, everybody got it? All right. That means no competition on that day and at that time in that mailbox with that offer. Now we've got 10,000 prospects that are pulling this thing out of their mailbox. What happens? Okay, these prospects are going to sort themselves into two groups and two groups only. Okay, one group is, I'm not interested in selling my property. Okay, at all, not even remotely thinking about it. Okay, so no desire. You guys got it? Zero desire for it. So what do? They throw the card away. As a matter of fact, they don't even notice the card. As soon as their brain picks up that it has something to do with selling their home, in the trash can. Zero desire. Now, the other group of prospects are people with desire, and desire falls into varying levels. They're either ready to do it today or not. Okay, and the or not people fall into various levels of desire, thinking about it, maybe in the near future I will do this, but they fall in the other bucket. Has everybody got it? Okay, now the people that are ready, you know what? I am thinking about selling my property. They pick up the phone and they call Tracy. And what Tracy is hoping for and gaming for is that whatever he invested to get these postcards out at that moment in time, he gets enough calls coming back in at that moment in time from people with high desire to sell their property right away. Okay. Now he's going to try to get more people calling him, making more money than he's spending, and he ends up with a profit. All right. Now let's look at the rest of the bucket. Okay. Everyone else. Let's say that the people that don't call him right now do what most people do, that have desire, but they're just not ready to act on it today. They store the card. Is that right, Nathan? They just put it aside. They hang on to it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now, what happens 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 6 months down the road? Now this customer's like, you know what? I think I'm ready to do something with this thing right now. They may remember where they stored the card or may not. Okay. And I am telling you that the longer it goes on, the less likely they are to remember where they laid that business, where they laid that postcard. Okay. So the people that can't remember where they put it or what they did with it, okay, if they can remember it at all, what do? They still want to sell their place. What are they going to do?
Call Uncle Joe.
Somebody got it? So what is that customer going to do? And everyone knows they're going to go sit down at their computer and they're going to go to the internet, their browser, and they're going to go to Google and they're going to type away. Okay, so everybody got that? So they're going to Google and they're typing in something they want to gain or something they want to avoid as a seller prospect. Now, what about all the others? The vast majority of the people that got the postcard that threw the thing away. Let's fast forward down the road with these guys. The next day, the next week, the next 6 months, like, okay, now they're thinking about making a move or selling their property. What do? They go to Google. Does everybody see how it plays out? So in other words, just about everyone is going to Google, even if they get your direct mail. Okay. Very few people are going to respond to your direct mail right now. Now, let's look at the reality of that. On the postcard, on that day and time, Tracy had no competition, zero. His only competition was their previous agent they had, who they probably forgot about, didn't do that great of a job anyway, or a referral because they're fishing for one. Okay. But most people don't fish for referrals. Okay. And most people go to the internet. So when I go to the internet or when I go to Google, you guys ready? Now what happens, Chuck? Google doesn't give me one choice. So when I go in as a seller prospect and I type into Google something I want to gain or something I want to avoid, Google gives me approximately how many choices on the page?
If it's a phone, it's literally endless. If it's a desktop, it's about what, 15, 20, 25.
You guys see that? Okay, so now you're competing. So the vast majority of the people that you want to do business with, you know, are going to Google. And now you're competing with at least 10 other choices that Google's going to throw up on the very first page. Now check out this statistic first and foremost here. I think I've got it here. Yeah, here it is. This is what Google said, Chuck, is that of all the searches of something that a seller wants to gain or a seller wants to avoid, okay, only 2.8% of the searches result in a click on the paid ad. So here's what that tells me. 97% of everyone is falling into that organic box. And that's not 10 searches. Now you're down to like 6. The other 4 were eaten up by paid ads on the desktop. So you guys see how competitive it is? I just don't know if you really realized how competitive online was. And that's probably the result of your issues. So let's say that the seller wants to, is going to type something in. In this case, the seller types in, I want to sell my house. Okay. I want to sell my house. Or how about this? Get an offer on my home. Or how about this? Your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. Or how about this? How much is my house worth? Or how about this? How much can I sell my house for? Or how about this? How to sell my home during a divorce? Or how about this? How to sell my home with tenants in it? And on. Something I want to gain, something I want to avoid. How can I sell my house without paying an agent? Has everybody got it? That's what they're typing into the search bars on Google. And either you're showing up or not showing up. So the first thing that has to happen is you got to show up. You got to compete. All right. Now, when you show
No sound, T. Dot, we're not hearing you right now. There we go. I think I got you back.
Is that better?
Yep, there we go. There we go. Now we're rocking. You're gone again.
Yeah, I don't hear Todd again, but
How's that?
There we go. We're back.
Yeah, just change mics. So anyway, I'm thinking this through, and we're doing this research, and we're watching it play out with Platinum members that are watching right now that are really trying to game how to get more seller prospects with their online marketing. And now we know the primary reason we're losing is competition. Okay, so the search results show up after the seller prospect types in something like how to sell my home during COVID, how to sell my home during a divorce, how do I sell my house without paying a real estate agent? How can I sell my home for the most amount of money? Buy my home today. Get a guaranteed offer on my house. All right. All of these searches result in results from competitors. Okay. Some are paid ads, some are organic ads. Now, once the searches on Google that show up on the search results, once they're all pretty similar, which they are in a search, they're all similar. How does the customer decide what to click on? If it's all relevant, who do they click on?
I know Google's going to promote has their page rank algorithm to decide who's going to rank higher.
Yeah, that's getting on the search, that's getting into the results. So if Google's presenting me with 10 or 12 search results that are all relevant to what I searched for, now I've got a decision to make. Who am I going to search? Who am I going to click on? Which ad or search result am I going to click on?
The one that matches what you're looking for the best.
Yeah, but if they're all relevant, now what? And I think, right, I think that's the problem that everyone's using. It doesn't matter how great your content is because other people have great content too, and they have very similar search results. I mean, how much better can you get from someone saying, get a guaranteed offer on your home? Like if I'm looking to get an offer on my home and somebody says, get a guaranteed offer on my home. How about this one? How much can I sell my house for? And you get a whole page results of find out how much you can sell your home for, most accurate home pricing, right? Like how much better can your content be? So if the content is all relative or relevant, excuse me, now what is the customer going to click on? And this to me is where it's separating the wheat from the chaff. And that is that I'm going to decide based on who. So let's say one of them is Nathan O'Reilly, get an offer on your home. Let's say another one is Craig Proctor, sell your home today. Let's say another one is Todd Walters, get multiple offers on your home today. And then let's say the other one is Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, your home sold guaranteed at your price or we'll buy it. So it's all relative content based on what I searched for, but who am I going to click on? And what we've discovered here is that whoever is promoting the offer, that's who they go to next. Once the offers are all relative, who's going to get the click? They're only clicking on one, and it's basically brand positioning. And we've discovered this and proven this now, I don't know, dozens and dozens of times here just in the last little while. Okay?
I have a recent example, Todd, of this exact scenario.
I want to take a look at it if we can. Can you show it?
I can.
All right. So while you're pulling that up, let me use my next analogy. Everyone, please listen close. Let's say, God forbid, that you or your loved one has pancreatic cancer. God forbid. Okay. And for some of you, this might even be a current reality. And that's a tough one. Okay. Let's say that's the case. You're going to go to Google and you're not going to look for doctors. You're not going to look for cancer specialists. You are going to look for pancreatic cancer specialist. You know, who can cure my pancreatic cancer? Best treatment for pancreatic cancer. What you're looking for is specialization. All right. And you're going to get the search results to show up on your computer. And you're going to click on the one that you believe specializes in helping you with your present situation. Does everybody understand that? So how do you know if someone actually specializes in selling somebody else's house? Because OfferPad and Open Door have to explain that they specialize in it. Okay. They can't dominate the SEO and the organic coverage. They have to spend a lot of money to tell people, no, we specialize in buying your home from you. We specialize in getting you an offer. They actually go out of their way to do that. And the more you have to tell people that you specialize in something, you are eating up your ad space and you're getting beat by people who actually do specialize in it, who don't have to tell people that you specialize in it. Does everybody understand that? All right. So this is the problem that many of you guys have online marketing. It doesn't matter what you do. You can spend all the money you want on paid media. You can hire the best SEO experts in the world, and you're going to get your ass kicked because your brand position is killing you. You don't specialize in whatever it is the customer is looking for. It's like a one-off. Todd Walters, sell your home today, versus the example we're using, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, sell your home today. Does everyone understand that? You've got to work. Todd Walters has got to work way harder and spend more money to convince the customer I'm the specialist. And the reality is you're not. It doesn't say so. I just talked to a platinum members a couple of hours ago with this same problem. They're at a company called Bay Street Group up in Toronto. And I'm like, what do you guys do? We sell real estate. Well, I'm not calling you to sell my house. I'm looking for I'm calling Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty down the road that specializes in selling my house. If you're one of the options online, Bay Street Group, sell your home today, Your Home Sold Guaranteed, sell your home today, who are you going to click on? You're only clicking on one. So this is so obvious in such an issue because offline, here's the postcard, offline, we hide the brand. We make Keller Williams disappear. We make Remax like non-existent, out of our way, spend money to hide it. And online, it's killing you because once you're relevant in the search results, you show up. Now it's like, who am I going to click on? Not what am I going to click on anymore, but who? Because I got one shot to get this right. It's that important to me. And I equated it with pancreatic cancer. If you or a loved one have that, you are not going to click on Bay Street Medical Group. You're going to go to Bay Street Pancreatic Specialist. Okay. We guarantee results in recovery and longevity from pancreatic cancer, or you don't pay. Click, you've clicked on them. Does everyone understand how it works now online? Chuck, show us what you got there. I'll stop sharing.
This scenario is happening with Nathan. So we made a page for Nathan Clark. Text me my home value. I made the page, I optimized it. He ran an ad on television. When he ran the ad on television, people couldn't remember the number to text to. So they Googled something. Your Home Sold, Nathan Clark, whatever they could remember from the ad. They had a chance to find all kinds of other people who want to do a home eval. But they found Nathan's page. These are all leads as an overflow from that campaign because they Googled after the fact. Now he's got all his leads from that campaign somewhere else. These are the ones that Googled and came to us from Google. As an overflow, the exact situation that you mentioned. They felt like Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty with this page was what they were looking for. They went here and filled out the form, gave a phone number and an address.
Mm-hmm. Now, he used to run these same campaigns with Nathan Clark and Associates, and it didn't work.
There was certainly no Google overflow.
No, he stopped doing them. Like he ended those commercials. I remember. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm going to tell you, we can't make them work. And that's the way it works with offline marketing is that or the radio and television, if I'm sitting in front of the TV and I got my notepad handy or my phone handy, I can pick it up and take action right away. But most people aren't able to do that. So then they go to Google and now they're looking for the thing that benefits them from the commercial, the thing that they want to gain or avoid, not Nathan Clark or Tracy King or Craig Proctor or Todd Walters or Remax, not even Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. It's the thing they benefit from. In other words, find out what your home is worth. Okay, here in Smithfield, Rhode Island. So they go to Google, type it in, and there's one specialist, one company that specializes in selling your house out of all the companies and people that were presenting that information. And Nathan's just dominating that space. So the consensus here, based on evidence and proof and side-by-side comparisons for platinum members against people with different brand positioning is what we're presenting to you guys. So let me shoot straight with you guys. Craig and I do not have a fix for your online marketing. Okay. If it's not working to generate seller leads. Okay. We don't have a fix for it except for brand positioning. It's the sponsor. We can get your content to show up. Okay. We know how to do that. But if you're competing against others in the space, you're going to lose to people they have familiarity with or better brand positioning. So now you've got to convince yourself of, do people really look for specialists to help them with their present situation, or will any old agent do? That's the question that you guys got to answer as a Craig Proctor system person. All right. And what we've discovered is people care as the marketplace slows or contracts, they care even more about the specialist in the area. And it doesn't matter how famous your name is. You can be the #1 agent in your marketplace, Mark Spain, but you're going to lose to the specialist. And we proved that, right, Nathan, online.
No question.
Yeah, we proved it right there, hands down. Proved. People go for the specialist every time versus the one that has to promote it as one of the things that they do. All right, so hopefully that helps you guys with your online marketing. Here's what I would do if I were you guys right now. And then we'll take some questions, okay, in this area. This is what you do right now. Okay, write this down. Probably your next step is to go to yhsgrlegacycall.com. All right, go to yhsgrlegacycall.com. And what we're going to do is we're going to arrange for an online marketing audit. Okay, so if you're a platinum member and you're motivated to have your own real estate company, okay, you want to be owner, not renter. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, if you're motivated, you need to do an online marketing audit, and we need to set you up with that. So the best way to do that is to go schedule that at yhsgrlegacycall.com. You need to compare side by side everything you're doing online with the people that are generating seller prospects, okay, in mass, easier than they ever have before. That's what I would do. Totally up to you guys. We're not here to pressure you into doing something, but if you're motivated, that's their next step. Side-by-side comparison of what you've done, what you have done with what's working the best for the Craig Proctor system people, and compare it. All right. And if your mission is to sell more homes and make more money, and you can solve this issue of scaling up your business with a simple brand positioning change, we know that you'll do it. Okay. And that's our fix for it when it comes to online marketing. So just go to yhsgrlegacycall.com and get set up for that. I think Cheryl threw the link in there. Chuck, any other comments on that before I go to the next thing I got to share here?
Is there any way I can help with the marketing audit at all?
What would you suggest?
Well, I'd like to see, but kind of we'll do a little bit of an SEO audit with what they have, kind of take a look. Anything that I can do to help show them more about where they are with their website and online presence.
Okay, good. So so if you guys will go to yhsgrlegacycall.com, now we're going to take these in the order that they come. Okay, so first come, first serve. So you can do it right now while you're on with us today. Just go to yhsgrlegacycall.com. Let's just do that right now and see what this looks like here. Is it okay, Cheryl, if I do that? All right, yhsgrlegacycall.com. Let's see what we got here. All right, here we are. So when you guys get here, there's a red box, red or orange box, and it says, book your cut through the crap and build a sellable business asset call today. All right. My opinion is you can't do that without dominating online. Okay. Organically. That's the big angle for you. So here's what I would do. Okay. Click on book the call. Okay. That's going to put you on a schedule with Nathan. Nathan's going to work with Chuck's schedule. Okay. To get on a Zoom meeting, take a look at what you're doing online and what you should be doing online and compare. All right. That's going to give you an audit of your present situation. And if it's a brand positioning problem, it's easy to solve. We have that fixed for you. Okay. It'll be, you know, you move up the Craig Proctor system ladder, you become a Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty licensee or something else, but you got to do something. You can't just continue doing things the same way and expect to get a different result. Remember how I started off the Zoom today, boys and girls? I asked straight up, is it getting harder and more costly for you to generate your ideal customer online? And the vast majority of you said yes. I already knew the answer to that question. That's why we did today's topic. Okay. Then the next thing is, what are you going to do about it? Because it's harder for you, but not for some others. For some others, it's easier than ever. What are they doing? Why wouldn't you do that? Right? So see what I'm getting at? And that's how this rolls. So go to yhstrlegacycall.com, click on the link and get on the schedule quick, because we've got 80 people on here right now, and that'll fill up pretty quick. Right, Nathan?
No question.
All right,
No question.
So Chuck,
Turn City Council.
so Chuck, talk to me. What does what does that look like? All right. So if you're gonna talk to, well, you know what? I probably made a mistake here. Who's Chuck? Like, what do you do, Chuck? Like, why are you on here today, and what do you do, and what are you famous for?
Custom web design and hosting. We started coming up on 11 years ago. We work with major national brands like Paula Deen. We do all of our restaurant websites. We're actually redoing our own e-commerce site that we did for her a couple of years ago right now. And we work with all the top YHSGR names. At the Anaheim conference, you had a list of the top 10 people in titanium. We work with 9 of those 10. So we work with Rudy and Nancy and just a whole bunch of people, plus another, a dozen or two others. We work with these guys. We don't just build their website, but we meet with them regularly. We had a meeting earlier with Tracy. We're going to meet with 2 or 3 different clients tomorrow, and we work with them to get the sellers' leads into their CRM. And to your point, the KPI is not the cost per lead. The KPI is the appointment met. That's what we're looking for. The appointment met. How many leads is how many appointments is how many met. So that's kind of the KPI that we look at. So anyway,
that's really good. I don't know of another website developer, lead generation company, especially, that goes that far with their leading indicators and measuring whether it works or not.
Well, they don't exist because we're specialists. We 100% believe in this niche thing and being specialists. And our specialist is Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This brand is amazing. It's got legs. It's going to go places, and we're just happy to be a part.
Yeah. So in other words, Google likes it. I threw this slide up here, which basically, I guess I could have just done that in the beginning, as the sponsor of the paid and free ads. Paid being your paid ads, free being your organic. Well, no matter what the content is. But the first thing is you got to get your content to show up in the search results. And when you show up in the search results, now the brand matters. Who's sponsoring that information? And the less branded ads, as you guys know, is just biting the dust. Okay. And let's talk about that for a minute. It's okay. The reason the less branded ads are biting the dust. Okay. If we go to Google right now and do a search, like I want to buy a house in Beaufort, Georgia, and we see all these ads showing up there. When you look at them, you'll see the majority of the paid ads are less branded. So in other words, it's become commoditized. There's so many lead generation companies out there now, and they saturated the marketplace with these lead generation websites that they're all the same, and they're all less branded, and it's become commoditized, and there's no specialization in it, and they're just dying. That's one reason. Number 2 reason is that when you generate leads that are not expecting a call, that means you've got to call them, and people just don't answer the phone anymore. Okay. And many times, Nathan, we were talking about this in our meeting this morning. Some people's phones are programmed to not take inbound calls unless you're a contact in their cell phone. This is a trend. So if you don't reverse the trend to get inbound, that means people contacting you saying, hey, I want to talk to you about selling my house. I want you to sell my home. Can you give me some information about possibly selling my house? All right. If you are not generating those inbound responses online and offline, I just think you're going to die. I think your business is over. So we build Platinum on that concept of building a sellable, a super profitable sales team business targeting seller prospects. The very thing that I did when we launched Platinum was to tell all the Platinum members, all 40 of them, that first meeting was run cash for your home ads and never stop. Number 2, if you don't have the guaranteed sold program, implement that now. And number 3, use direct mail to promote it. Okay. And that was it. That's how Platinum rolled for years. Some of you guys were around when we did that. Then along come the lead generation companies and something changed. Too many platinum members got involved in generating leads that were not their ideal customers, and they drifted way far away from marketing, because that's not marketing, that's abdication of it, to the point now their business is flipped. 30% listings, 70% buyers, and their business is just harder and tougher to scale from lack of focus on targeting your ideal customer. So by demand, here comes Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty as a solution to brand positioning on branded ads competing online. And it was brilliant. Okay. Then we get with Chuck. And it's like, Chuck, do you have to own your website to make this work, or can you make it work with ClickFunnels and rented websites? Chuck?
You need to own your own website, 100%.
Right. Google doesn't like featuring templated websites in organic search results. It's like a last resort for these guys. And since there's enough people that own their own website, they're typically winning right now. All right, so that's one of the rules. Write this down, guys. Rent your CRM, own your own website. So when you go to yhsgrlegacycall.com and get on the docket for an online marketing audit, all right, we'll get you connected up with Chuck, and you can compare your stuff with the top stuff that the best Craig Proctor guys are doing, and you can make your own decisions. We already know it works, okay? And I really don't want to stand up at a conference for 3 days and pound platinum members over the head with they got brand positioning problems, and you can fix them by changing your brand positioning. I would rather spend the time at the conferences working with you guys on the implementation of all the systems and processes. So we like to do these Zooms separately to talk about these issues and what the proposed solutions are. If you guys have a different solution, let me know, okay? But if you're not using direct mail, you should, because you can hide your brand position problem, okay? But online, you can't, because every ad has to have a sponsor legally, okay? Just like your offline marketing has to have a sponsor legally, but you can hide it. Online, you can't. It's not a postcard and graphics and pictures and all these kinds of things. You're following Google's rules, and Google owns it, and they say how ads need to look and the content that shows up right there. All right. So that's why it's winning. All right. We're happy with it. We're glad that we have a solution for it. Now the problem is the solution's a little bit more of an investment. You need to own your own company. And I want to talk about that right now. Okay. All right. So I know looks like about 20 of you guys have gone to yhsgrlegacycall.com. Okay. But go ahead and complete the form and get in line. All right, because the more you wait, right, Nathan, that's just going to bump everybody out 2 or 3 weeks. This is an important issue. All right, now, many of you do not own your own company, and some of you guys are wondering whether you should or not. All right, well, let me tell you what I've discovered here. Some of you should not. Okay, some of you just have no business doing that. All right, but if you're in the top 1% of income earners in North America, you should own your own company. Okay. Let me repeat. If you're in the top 1%, and if you don't know what the top 1% is, I'll share it with you. All right. You make about $250,000 a year or more. You're in the top 1% of income earners. If you're in the top 1% of income earners in real estate in North America, why would you not own your own company? It's almost heresy not to. You've proven yourself worthy of being able to lead, manage, hold people accountable, and you're an influencer. Okay, so you definitely should own your own company. That's my position on it. And we've proven that the people that own their own company, that are top 1% income earners, can scale up faster than those who don't. Okay, now one other point on that. How many of you get up every day and tell people they should own real estate? Right, all of you. So think this one through. You get up every day and you run around your marketplace telling people they should own real estate. Why? Nathan, why is owning real estate better than renting?
Well, because you can have cash flow, appreciation of your asset. You get, and you also get the fact that you're paying down your mortgage. So you have 3 different ways of actually accumulating equity or cash flow.
Okay. All right. So let's pause there. You build wealth. Right? It's impossible. Let me repeat, impossible to build wealth renting. You don't own it. There is no equity. You're not paying down anything. You're not building anything. You're not scaling up anything, except for who does own the property. So that's why we tell people to own, whether you're going to be there short time or long time. Own it, own it, own the real estate, because it will be better for you than renting. And we make the case. All right. But many of you are renting, not real estate, but you're renters. You're a real estate agent and you have your license at somebody else's company. You're renting. You don't own anything. You're not building any equity at all. Okay. So it's weird, isn't it, that on one hand, we argue with customers that they should own, you should be owners to create wealth, but yet real estate agents are famous for being renters. And it all comes and stems from mindset, just like renters versus owners in real estate agents versus owners of real estate companies, mindset. It's all about mindset. Okay. You know how you've kind of struggled sometimes trying to convince people they should own versus rent. And it's like, you're perplexed by it. You're bothered by it. It's like, how can they think that renting is better? And they're, you know, like you're going, and I'm in the same boat. I've owned real estate companies. Craig has owned real estate companies. We own companies. We don't rent. Okay. When renting was bad, we got out of it. When Craig discovered that renting was bad, he got out of it. You guys understand that? When he saw Lou sell that real estate company for millions of dollars and he couldn't sell it, he was like, this is stupid. All right. What am I doing? You know, so one day it was fine to be renting, then mindset changes. Now it's ownership. And many of you guys want to know when you should start thinking about that. And I'm like, if you're in the top 1%, you should own your own business. Okay. And if you're going to own your own business, I want you to look at the these 8 steps in front of you. If you're going to own it, then build it the right way to start with. Do not build it the way the majority of other real estate agents and brokers build theirs. Don't do that. Don't make those mistakes. Build it a different way. Okay. I call it built to sell. And that just requires doing 2 or 3 things differently. Just 2 or 3 things differently than the majority do. Starting with brand positioning as the sponsor of all of your marketing. Okay. That's number 1. That will help you avoid commoditization and put you in the scalable category. Look right here. Number 2, scalable things meet 3 criteria. Number 2, valuable to your customers to avoid commoditization. A specialist, remember, there are plenty of real estate agents that will advertise, we can get you a home evaluation. We will buy your home. We will sell your home. We will guarantee that your home will sell. We will guarantee you multiple offers. There's all kinds of real estate agents, Todd Walters in the world, Craig Proctor's in the world, real estate agents in companies, Coldwell Banker, EXP, Keller Williams, that will advertise those things. But what's valuable is the one who escapes commoditization, the specialist. And our solution for that is Your Home Sold Guaranteed as the brand sponsor. So hopefully that resonates with you guys and you get it. Then the rest of it is all the processes and everything else that's built into a business that's sellable. Okay. Positive cash flow cycle, highly trained, highly focused, skilled sales force. Okay. Total focus on selling that one thing versus trying to be all things to everyone inside your business. Okay. Those are the four things. Okay. Now, if you look back over here, this repeatable thing, this is what we solve when you come to Atlanta as a Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty owner. When you come to Atlanta, we spend 2 days together on solving this repeatable problem. Okay. And when we do a one-on-one consult with you at yhstrlegacycall.com, we can share more of that with you. Okay. But you got to solve this repeatable thing as well. Everything else on here, you pretty much are on your way to doing that, except for your brand positioning name. That's a problem for you. Okay. When it comes to online marketing, if you believe that's how the game is going to be played out in the future online. Okay. All right. So then your next issue is repeatable. How do you get your customers to come back over and over and over and over and over again? Okay. And the answer is, how many of you are talking to your customers about what happens after the sale? How many of you guys have a process and system for helping people after the sale, so they do come back to you over and over and over again? How many of you have your customers paying you every year just to be a customer, like Amazon does with Amazon Prime? That's how we've solved that problem. And we'll share more of that with those of you that are interested. Okay. And that's pretty much all I have on the subject today. Chuck, any other comments around this brand positioning with online marketing?
The way that things are moving in the world today, branding, the brand, corporate responsibility, the brand is everything. People are buying more and more based on the brand now than ever before. It's been increasing over the years. It's just further along than anyone thought it would be. The brand is so important. The brand is so important. It's going to get so much more difficult to sell anything without a well-managed, strong brand behind you in the future. This is the brand. It has everything. It has all the right people. It's just an amazing brand. We need to just keep going with this brand and get everybody on board and get this done.
Yes, that would be great. But it's not for everyone. You know, not everybody was put on this planet to own their own business. And a lot of people's definition, they think they can't own something unless it's giant. Okay. But I would say we do really, really well helping thousands and thousands and thousands of people a year, and we're really small. Right, Nathan?
No question.
We're not some big giant company, but yet we impact thousands and thousands and thousands. I wonder how many people we impact a year through you guys. See what I'm talking about? So don't think that your ownership means it's got to be big. No. Once you get into the top 1% of income earners in North America, that means you're about $250,000 a year. You should own your own company. Okay. And that's it. And then you scale it up from there. You escape that crap of churn of people working for you, having to run out and get another customer every second. Like, this needs to become a business now. So yeah, just go to yhsgrlegacycall.com. You guys can do that and book your cut through the crap and build a sellable business asset call today. It's a great title there, Cheryl. And it will line you up with a online marketing audit with Chuck, and you can compare what you're doing with the top 10 Craig Proctor system members, okay, and their online marketing. Okay, like you said, Titanium alone, you work with the top 9 of 10. That's pretty strong. Okay, wonder what number 10's doing. I mean, wonder what the lone person's doing. They need to pay attention here, because I know that they've got some issues brewing in their business, because this is real. All right, so here's my hope for you guys, is that you won't have these issues. You will avoid these breakpoints. Generating leads online from your ideal customers. If you're not able to do that, you're at a breakpoint. And the only way to avoid going backwards in business or staying where you are for long periods of time, which same thing as going backwards, is you got to make a change. You got to disrupt your status quo. That's how you get through breakpoints. You don't get through them doing the same old things. Okay. So what does that look like for you? All right. It might mean brand positioning change. Okay. Or something else, but something's got to change. Agreed? Okay. So let's start with yhsgrlegacycall.com. And I want everybody to know we're here to help you with it. We're not browbeating anybody to do anything. We're just telling you how the best people are solving their issues. And I'm on a mission to show everyone that. And when I feel like platinum members understand and they fully can make decisions on their own, because they're presented all of the facts in the situation, and they choose one or the other, I'm good. Okay. It's when I believe that they don't really know what's going on, why they're having these issues, what the solutions are, what the choices are. That's when I get really nervous. I'm like, we haven't done a good job of educating them. They need to see what the reality of it all is. And that's why we do some of these extra Zoom meetings at times. Nathan, any final comments here?
I think you did a pretty good job on that side.
You guys got
yeah,
any questions for Chuck or Nathan or myself? You guys want to ask? Type them into the chat. If you got a question on it, anything, you guys can ask it right now while you got our attention. If you want to ask, don't be a spectator. Now's your time to be a participant. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you guys rank your motivation to solve these issues of online marketing, generating your ideal customer? Yeah, where do you sit? Jesse says I'm a 10. Your motivation, Jan says I'm an 8. All right, Jan, what will make it a 10? What will make it a 10 motivation level to solve these issues of generating your ideal customers from online marketing? That's it. So if it's anything less than a 10, then your next question is, what would make it an 8? What would make it a 9? What would make it a 10? You know, whatever number you are, what would make it the next numbers up to solve it? You should ask yourselves these questions. Ask yourself these questions pretty regularly. That's great self-assessment and reflection time, by the way. All right, so we got about 5 or 6 people out of 80 that say they're a 10. Everybody else, I guess, is fine with with their current situation. All right, do something about it. Don't sit on it. And we're here to help you. All right. And hey, just understand, like, it might lead to something. The help may look differently than you may think. I want you guys to know that. So go to yhstrlegacycall.com. That's the first step. Just be open-minded to change. Some people are locked in, Chuck. I was talking to a platinum member a couple of days ago he was very perplexed. He signed this contract with a franchise, not one of the big 3 or 4, but you know, it was a real estate franchise, and he's under agreement with these franchise for like 3 more years. And if he got out of it, they would come after him for a big chunk of money. So he was a little bit annoyed with us presenting him and others with these solutions to the problems, like, you know, brand positioning. In other words, he admitted that his brand positioning doesn't help him generate sellers, but he didn't really want to hear that from us. He was looking for different answers. And when I said, dude, I got none, like, it's almost like he believed we were holding back on him. You know, like, we could make his online marketing work better. We just were choosing to like lean towards brand positioning as the solution. And our best brand positioning is the one that we own, Your Home Sold Guaranteed. Of course, if it was not, we would own that one if it was something else. Okay. So he was relatively annoyed with me on this. And I was like, dude, I'm just being honest. I don't have a solution for you. So you're stuck. But remember, that's your problem, not mine. You chose that problem. You chose to get involved in something that was long-term, that is now causing you heartburn when it comes to generating online traffic, online business. You can't do it from that brand and that brand positioning. You have to try to convince people that you're a specialist, when now they're going to look at it like, but this other guy is a specialist and you're having to tell me that you are. So yeah, you're in trouble right now with your online marketing. So you're going to be stuck doing referrals, database marketing, and direct mail. Hopefully you can scale your business up that way, but you're going to get beat online because that's where the majority of traffic is. And he understood it, but he was not happy with it, and it was being projected on us. And you're talking to some of these guys about that. Like, yeah, man, there's nothing I can do to help you. You're stuck.
In the past, I've gone down that road in the last 3 or 4 years. And the first time I went down that road, I realized right away that it was really not good for me or the client. And I've really had to make a decision to not put myself or the client in a situation where we're wasting our time and money, getting nowhere, and just doing more damage than good by trying to force that. So.
All right. Well, hopefully that gave you guys the education you're looking for today on your online marketing. Okay. If you think you're going to run some magic ad, you know, under paid ads, okay, or you're going to be in the organic search, and because you're in the organic search, you're going to get rich. I want you to understand there's lots of other people there that have paid ads and they're in the organic search, and they have good content, or Google wouldn't help them on the page. Okay. So the way to win the game is to be the specialist of the very thing that you're telling people You're the specialist of it. A walking, talking, breathing, unique selling proposition. That's how we solved it. Okay. So if you're not going to do it our way, and remember, the hardest thing that we do every day is get up and get Craig Proctor people to copy, go all in, commit, copy. And every time you do, your life gets better. All right. I'll just remind you guys of that. So why does it have to stop with brand positioning? Oh, everything else is fine, Todd, but calling my company Your Home Sold Guaranteed, that's just where it stops. Why? Why does it have to stop there? Like if everything you do, your life gets better, the more you implement, why would you stop it there? Like you go all in. If we had a different solution, we would tell you, okay, in that area of dominating with your online marketing. Okay, now outside of that, every platinum member should be trying to dominate online marketing. Okay, you will make money online, okay, with your marketing if it's relevant for Google. Just remember, you're going to get beat by people with better brand positioning. Okay, so your next thing on your list is to be the dominant player on brand. And your brand represents who you are, what you do, and what you're all about, who you're for. Okay, in this case, we want listings, we want sellers, we want a steady flow of them. All right, we want more than our fair share of seller prospects. So your brand positioning is about attracting that. And that's the next thing on your list to be able to solve. So you can solve it our way, or you can go and figure it out your way. Either way, I'm in for helping you. And I just gave you guys the help. This is how you solve that issue. All right. So we hope that you would do it our way. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty is a real thing and ain't going anywhere, like Chuck said. And this is where you start. Go to yhstrlegacycall.com if you guys haven't done that yet and get on the ticket. I like this concept of an online marketing audit, Chuck. That's pretty sweet. Yeah.
It's important to do. A lot
yeah.
of times we've done so many things over the years and we don't even know what's going on out there. We gotta figure out what we've got, organize it, take a look at it objectively.
Yeah. Killer. All right. And we'll kind of knock it off there. Nathan, any final comments?
I appreciate you guys. Looking forward to meeting with you. If you guys have anything, let us know. And I'm looking forward to hopping on and showing you guys more of what we got in store for you. So excited to show you the opportunity.
So what I'm getting ready to do, you guys might be interested in this, is at 4:00 today, I do a Q&A on Mondays at 4:00. I do a Q&A. We call it a help Zoom with all of the titanium members. So on Mondays, I block out, much time as they want. And I just jump on and I just answer questions. And the questions are really good, by the way. I mean, high level stuff that you might not hear on other Zooms and webinars. Really good stuff. It's about business building and scaling. So those are pretty fun. I'm getting ready to do that here at 4:00 Eastern time today for titanium guys. This Thursday for 3 hours with all of the titanium and Your Home Sold Guaranteed guys, we have a marketing workshop. This is part 2 of the marketing workshop that we put on. Okay. And this is the top 12 marketing systems that are working, okay, for all of our Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty people. That's what's happening on this marketing clinic. We're going to look at 12 systems. And it's a 3-hour-long meeting, and we do a couple of those a month for all of those people. So I want you guys to know there's a little bit more going on the further up the ladder you go, and encourage you guys to know that, take a look at it, and get involved, stay involved. And by all means, make sure you're at the next conference. All right. Okay. I want to thank Cheryl, Chuck, Nathan. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you guys for your help.
Also, Todd, for anyone that's going to be hopping on, there's a couple of things that I had for you guys. For the people that have hopped on, you guys get like temporary access to our university. So that piece is pretty cool. So you guys will be able to hop into that. Go check it out beforehand. We've done a good bit of work in there for you guys so that it's easier to implement when you first come on board. We get you rocking and rolling, and you guys basically have a whole bunch of videos that you can jump on and start watching and doing that. So when you hop on, you'll get an email. Cheryl will get you access to the university. Also, when you hop on, typically I start giving you guys some invites to these things that Todd's currently talking about right now. So just as a couple things that definitely would be wise to check out. If you guys have any interest in this or like are thinking about it, considering it, hop on. Like, this is worth your time. It's worth the call. It's worth us taking, a few minutes out of your day to be able to see if this is even something that you'd be ready for. And if we think it is, we usually start getting you additional invites on this as well. So would love to have more of you guys to be able to come and jump into this and check it out at worst case scenario. Hey, best case scenario, this is ready. You guys are ready to rock and roll. Worst case scenario, you guys learn a thing or two, and we flip you back over, and you guys get back to work. So just wanted to give you some encouragement on this as well.
Yep. We'll even open up your brokerage for you. So if you guys want to open up a brokerage, we'll open it up for you. You need help getting a broker, we've got them. But you got to just go to yhsgrlegacycall.com to start the process. All right. So we'll wrap it up there. Good job, everyone. Thanks for being part of the Craig Proctor system. We're in it to win it. Great job. We'll see you soon. Go serve big. Thank you.